It's time now to go inside innovation, brought to you by DMI, mobilizing enterprises for the connected world. Well, 2 years ago, Julie Heath relocated to Indianapolis from Philadelphia. She immediately joined the nonprofit co-working space and entrepreneurial organization, The Speakeasy, where she met her first friends, made connections to jumpstart the next chapter of her career. Julie was recently named executive director of The Speakeasy, and she joins me now with more. Julie, welcome to Indiana, and congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Let's talk about your journey here. You grew up West Coast. Professionally, you're out on the East Coast. Your first trip really to the Midwest. Here in Indianapolis, you and your husband, a dual career couple, came here and you were wondering what you were going to do, right?
That's right. That's right. His job offer at Eli Lilly brought him here, brought us here. And I had worked in Washington, D.C. and Philadelphia and Boston previously. Started my career at the Smithsonian, where we launched a new center. So had a real soft spot for launching new things. And when I moved here, I knew one person in the city. I called him up and said, hey, I need to meet people. What do I do? Yeah. I also had some consulting work, and he said, why don't you join the Speakeasy? It's a really good place to plug in. Yeah,
and you really have plugged in, advancing now to the executive director role at the Speakeasy. Give us a thumbnail. This is co-working space, Indianapolis's first co-working space. Really, 2 locations, South Broad Ripple and downtown as well. Give us a thumbnail description of the Speakeasy.
That's right. That's right. So we are an entrepreneurial ecosystem where people can launch stuff, where they can get together, learn from others, and start new businesses. And we have about 1,000 members now.
Wow, grown to 1,000 members. What attracted you to really take this job? This is a big job, a lot of responsibility. What attracted you to this?
So I'd worked both on the nonprofit side and also the for-profit side for an advanced manufacturer that needed strategic positioning for a specific product. The languages that are spoken on the nonprofit side versus the for-profit side are very different. And so joining a nonprofit organization whose sole mission is economic impact via companies launched, well, that's a perfect space for me.
Yeah, as you mentioned, 1,000 members, and as we were talking off camera, the co-working piece is growing, right? So I guess that's a positive sign.
That's right. This pie is growing. Yeah. That's right. And it means we're doing our job well if we're launching companies and they need an additional co-working space. You know, as remote working grows in viability, we're going to continue to see growth there, and that's fantastic. Well,
as you look at you're just new on the job, 3 weeks or so in this top spot at the Speakeasy. What's your vision? What do you want to accomplish going forward?
Right. Well, in the short term, I'm on a listening campaign, trying to figure out from members and the founders and my predecessor, what do we need to do? What is working? How do we build on that success? How do we double down on that success? And then additionally, long term, you know, I would love to look at those 1,000 members and count all the companies they're launching, count all the jobs they're creating, count the tens or hundreds of millions of dollars of economic impact we're having here in this city. And I'd like to come back in 12 months and tell you what those numbers are. And I'd like to also figure out how to talk about that ROI, because we work on an operating budget annually of about it was 150,000 about 3 years ago, and now we're at about 700,000. So to be able to say we've had tens or hundreds of million dollars of economic impact with a $700,000 operating budget, it's not a bad story to tell.
That's a great return. 20 seconds left here. Julie, your take on the Indianapolis tech economy. You again came from the East Coast. What's your take?
It's just the right size. There's about 2 degrees of separation. So you can pick up the phone and get to whoever you need to talk to. I think that size, that scale is a competitive advantage for us.
Very good. Julie Heath is the new executive director at the Speakeasy. Julie, thanks for being here. We look forward to covering your story and the story of the Speakeasy going forward.
Yeah, thank you.
All right.